Sup, Angels? Today we're going to be going over the brand new Anhedonia EP called Heinous Acts of Terror. Now, Heinous Acts of Terror is a 4-song, really like 3 and a quarter song EP. Right off the bat, you can tell that it is highly influenced aesthetically by Repudiation. It kind of looks like Blue, Purging of Impurity. Now, the thing about Heinous Acts of Terror that you will notice right off the bat is that it is a lot more chill and slow paced. It doesn't have that big energy start like the previous demo. This one starts off like a lot more death metal, and as it goes by, you tend to see a lot more of the hardcore elements sleeping through the songs, unlike the previous demo where it got more death metal as time went on. Heinous Acts kind of does things a little differently. The song Social Ineptitude has Devin Swank from Sangui Sugabog and like 20 other bands. The song has big reverb vocals. You can tell when Devin comes in, you can tell what sections he actually does. So props to that, because the last like two things with guest vocals that I've reviewed for bands, you couldn't even tell. Um, the One of the gripes I did have was there's a section, like a section that goes into a slam. I think that's just a bit overdone, but that's just a personal thing for me. Another gripe I had with this one is there's no mournful agony type of moment or song. If you are into Irreversible Collapse and you listen to it, you will notice that it starts off very fast and energetic, and it just feels like you're going to do a front flip into the crowd as soon as you hear that. There's no moments like that on this. There's no song like that on it. Stylistically, like I mentioned, it's a lot more just slow and more, I don't want to say like spin kicky, but a lot more spin kick type sections, a lot more hardcore sections. This one kind of appeases more to the hardcore kids rather than the brutal death metal kids. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying what more so the crowd of the attended demographic of this particular EP kind of shows. It kind of like if Irreversible Collapse wrote slams over riffs when writing the music, then Heinous Acts wrote riffs over slams, if that makes sense. That's the main difference. You get a lot more of that final resting place, voracious content type of feel, whereas before Anhedonia was able to distinguish themselves. I feel like just like a little bit of what made them unique and stand out has kind of been lost here. Do I think that it's a step down in writing? Not necessarily. I just think that it's a change in sound, sort of like finding the type of sound that Anhedonia want to bring to the table currently and into the future, the type of crowd and the type of music that they want to present themselves with and distinguish themselves. I think that they're going to go more of this sound in the future instead of the previous more actual death metal riffage type of slam, or modern slam, or modern old school brutal death metal sound that they are playing. The songs are good though. This clocks in at 10 minutes, so a little bit short. Like I said, the third song isn't really an actual full fledged out song. It's more like an intro song into the last song with Devin Swank. Vocals are nice, heavy, low, reverb. Guitars, nice clean sound. Nothing sounds like it's blown out. Nothing sounds like it'd be in like the orange or red if you were like an engineer Nothing sounds faulty is what I'm trying to say. Like everything sounds clear enough to where everything sort of gets its own moment to shine. The guitars do have that more hardcore beat down type of atmosphere to it in the sound. But like I said, I mean, this is, of course, the sound that these guys want to go forward with, and that's okay. If I was to rate this, I would say a good 8 out of 10. Now, the previous demo, Irreversible Collapse, I had said that that was a perfect 10 out of 10. It is the only thing that is 10 out of 10 currently that I have done for the past year. It was actually my favorite release. I feel like it's a great EP, and I would definitely pick it up. I'm going to pick up a copy. I just feel like I mentioned, just the one or two things that just kind of separated itself from their unique sound of when I heard it for the first time. It was like, holy crap, you know what I mean? I'm not disappointed. I'm not trying to say that it's like a sellout thing. I don't think sellout is the correct word. I just think that they found their demographic. They found the style that they want to go forward with, and I'm all for that if they want to go more that route. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm more of the old school brutal death metal guy. I'm more of the internal bleeding, eternal suffering, scattered remnants, pyrexia, entorturement type of style of this style. Stylistically, bands like Voracious Content, Voracious Content was kind of like Devourment with like Extinction of Benevolence, internal bleeding type of style, but like Final Resting Place and Anhedonia with Heinous Acts of Terror, it kind of like just take like the slam sections without the riffs of those bands. Stylistically, Final Resting Place looks like Scatter Remnants, Anhedonia looks like Repudiation, but does it actually sound like the 90s bands? Absolutely not. And that's the differentiate of the brutal death metal scene listening to these bands and the hardcore scene listening to these bands, is the brutal death metal scene notices, and they notice that although it looks like it, it's like you can wear it, but you're not it. And I feel like with Heinous Acts of Terror, the brutal death metal kids will quickly see that it is the death metal sections that made it very unique are a little bit gone, but they still have very good song structures. Like I said, this is an 8 out of 10. I do think that this is going to be all over my Instagram for a while. I do think that the hardcore kids are going to be posting about this for a while. You're going to see a lot of Anhedonia shirts being worn in photos all over my Instagram, and I'm down for that. Like I said, I'm picking up one. I'm picking up a CD. I still have Irreversible Collapse. I'm going to pick that up too. I love this band, one of my favorite bands of young bloods in the scene. But I just think that the loss of some of the death metal is a little upsetting for me personally. However, I do think that it is still a wonderful, great, heavy, modern slam release. He thinks so too. But, pick up a copy, Anhedonia, Heinous Acts of Terror. But speaking about the music, I know I've kind of talked about I spent a little bit more time speaking about what it missed than what it actually does, but it is actually very good modern brutal death metal or modern slam. The main question is this a hardcore band disguised as a brutal death metal band? No, I would not say that. I think that it is a band of people that really pay attention to the old school brutal death metal, the modern hardcore scene, and they kind of stylistically multitude and blended together. I don't think that they're trying to portray anything rather than who they are themselves. I think that they're very true to the scene. Yes, they are a younger crowd like other bands that I've mentioned, but they do their homework. They crank out really good stuff. Like I said, Heinous Acts of Terror, really good. Just a little different demographic, little different change in appearance, little bit different change in style, little bit different change in sound. Is it a bad change? No. Is the change upsetting for me as a fan? Yes. Will I cry over it? Obviously not. There's, really good material to listen to here. It's just mournful agony, and those songs are still going to get 1,000 plays from me, while these just get a little less on my iPhone, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if Irreversible Collapse is just that good that nothing will really top it. Like I mentioned, it's like you listen to Mournful Agony and then you listen to like the first or second track off of Heinous Acts, and it's just totally different in energy and atmosphere and the sound. Irreversible Collapse sounded a lot more like caveman-y type of brutal death metal, modern slam than Heinous Acts. A little bit less of that. The production got a little better, so it does miss out about that. Bada bing, bada boom. But overall, like I mentioned, 8 out of 10. Go pick it up. Go support. These guys are killer. These guys are sick. So check it out. Get ready for some total slammage.